Oh man. In another case of missing the forest for the trees, Washington, D.C. area taxpayers and parents are justifiably fuming over the news that local police actually boarded a school bus to interfere with a child who, get this, merely took off his magic mask. Hi everyone, I'm Gardner Goldsmith for MRC-TV, and here is the story. As Shamari Stone reports for NBCConnecticut.com, quote, a mother and dozens of concerned parents protested outside the office of the State Superintendent of Education, OSSE, in Washington, D.C. Wednesday night after police were called to a boy's school because the boy, who has autism, kept taking off his mask, end quote. The mom is named Chiyomi Oru. Her son is named Jedi. And the forces of the Empire descended on Jedi 2 weeks ago when the boy, who's autistic, took off his mask while on the bus, as the school system said that he could.
And he took the mask off on the bus because he has a sensory processing condition along with his autism. The trust I put in Aussie was just violated.
Of course, this not only calls into question the trustworthiness of the OSSE, but the common sense of bureaucrats in this tax-eating system who embraces their default policy, the idea that children must wear masks. Children who, according to the head of the vaunted Centers for Disease Control, have not shown that they spread the virus. And this despite numerous studies that show children are at near zero chance of dying from COVID-19. Strangely, the OSSE isn't very communicative about this. No back and forth, not really much communication at all, but a simple written statement that implies the police were called not to harass the boy, but to handle a problem with the mom.
An OSSE Division of Student Transportation bus driver called for MPD support to help de-escalate a situation in which a parent would not leave a school bus, which was impairing the ability of the bus to transport students to school. The call was made after the driver and her dispatcher had been in conversation with the parent, and there was a disagreement about safety protocols for her child on the bus, and the parent refused to leave the vehicle.
But Ms. Ora disputes the narrative.
Chiyomi Oru says she never got on the bus. Her video starts when police arrived. She also wonders why the bus driver did not have her son's doctor's note that states Jedi should not be excluded or sent home if he refuses to wear the mask as long as he remains symptom-free and has no known COVID contacts. An OSSE spokesperson says Jedi School did not send the doctor's note prior to the bus arriving.
So the accusations and the counterclaims bounce like tennis balls across a net, while the larger game is missed. As usual, this instance of seeming mistreatment of a child merely highlights part of a bigger and more fundamental problem. The problem is that this system is predicated on force, with tax-funded armed police, bureaucrats, and courts ready to punish anyone who does not pay what the politicians demand. Such a system throws moms like Ms. Oru and kids like Jedi into a maelstrom that forces many, many others to pay for it. And not everyone will like seeing a child take off his mask. Now, it seems sensible that a little boy with cognitive or emotional challenges should be given special consideration. But it also seems sensible to think that a parent might feel dissatisfied when his or her child experiences hardships as a result of the important focus on a special needs child. You know, when I was in second grade, I was one of those high-performing kids, right? And the school system thought that it would be prudent to place a disruptive, hyperactive, potentially dangerous student right beside me. They actually thought I could be a helpful and calming influence on that boy.
And you will pay attention to my lead. Why? What?
When, after weeks of distractions and problems, that kid flipped a desk right beside me, they realized that maybe they'd made a mistake. In the meantime, I suffered for weeks.
I hate it when he does that.
You know, In a private consumer satisfaction-based system, such errors are rarer. And if they occur, customers can withhold their cash and go elsewhere. But in Washington, D.C., as with every other so-called public school system, the game is that no one should look at the forest, and they should only see occasional trees while the tax-eating system continues. Ms. Oru hopes to receive an apology, but even with such a response, the anger and frustration people feel about their choices being limited, their kids being mistreated, their money being taken, all of those will continue until people realize that hiding behind all public schools is the threat of police action. And that action against taxpayers and parents, who are also taxpayers, will not be pleasant. Hey, thanks so much for watching, everyone. Remember, if you're watching on YouTube, I'll see you in the comments section. I don't respond to all, but I do read all the comments, and I really appreciate all the feedback and great ideas people offer. Please make sure you like and subscribe, and visit us at Rumble, where all the videos are being housed, just in case. We're also on Parler, on Facebook, and on Twitter. You can find us on TikTok and Instagram, and don't forget, please visit MRCTV.org, because you can always find the whole team right there. And if you want some great swag for the Media Research Center, go to MRC-Store. For MRC TV, I'm Gardner Goldsmith.